Is in Fox 56 News chief medical contributor Dr. Ryan Stanton in studio once again this morning.
Today we're talking about the big bad norovirus, which I can tell you from personal experience is awful. So let's find out what we can do to detect it and manage it.
No better description has ever been made of norovirus. It is, in fact, awful. So norovirus is actually the virus that's typically associated with cruise ships. You know, the outbreaks that you see with nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, fever, abdominal pain. We've been seeing it off and on here for about the last month and a half in Kentucky. I like to say this is one that we tend to book in the flu season. So we tend to see some in the beginning of the flu season and a big spike at the end of flu season. As we documented last week, the flu season is dropping off, but we're seeing that huge spike within norovirus itself. Now, what does this mean? Significant symptoms. I've been seeing a lot of abdominal pain, the nausea, vomiting, diarrhea within our emergency departments. The challenge is this is one that's going to last, like many viruses, about 5 to 7 days. The key with norovirus is maintaining that hydration level. So it's something that we're seeing a ton of. It's something we'll see for the next several weeks for sure. The key for here in terms of prevention is going to be hand washing, because this is fecal oral transmission, meaning contaminated surfaces and that transmission into the GI tract. So washing those hands is the key. And then if you get it, making sure you manage those symptoms as best you can. So unfortunately, it is a bad one.
It's really contagious too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why you see it on the cruise ships, is because with the cruise ships, you'll get a contaminated surface or an area, especially with the buffets that they have, and it'll go through the cruise ship. That's why if you go on a cruise, if you have any symptoms near norovirus, they confine you to your cabin.
They lock you up.
Yep. After the last 3 years we've been through, Doctor, are people taking hand washing more seriously? Please tell me yes.
From spending some time in airports across this country this week, the answer is probably no.
Man.
We learned for a little bit.
I got it at a wedding last March. Remember, we were just started the broadcast, and I ran out in the middle and found the nearest trash can, and then I had to go home, and it was terrible.
That was not the gift they should give you. Maybe we should start with a bag of candy or treats. Not norovirus. Not a great Valentine's Day plan.
No.
Do we have you again?
We're coming back. We're going to talk about some of the management and things that you can do to help deal with this if you happen to get it.
Cry.
That will help.
We'll be right back.
You're watching Fox 56 News. Our home, your news.
It's 7:55. Let's talk norovirus. The doc is in. Fox 56 News chief medical contributor Dr. Ryan Stanton in studio.
Yes, Doc. Last, I guess, half hour you were talking about specifically what it is, but let's talk more about now. If you do get it, how do you manage it?
Yeah, absolutely. This is the virus. It's going to give you 5 to 7 days of the wonders of nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain, plus or minus fever. So a great experience had by all. So it's one of those things, we see those huge spikes this time of year. Now, what do you do if you get it? Now, one of the key to deal with this type of virus is the fact that the risk of dehydration, kidney-related injury because of that dehydration, that loss of fluids, and unable to keep things down. So what are the things that you can do? First and foremost is frequent small amounts of fluids. These can help keep you hydrated. Even if continuing to vomit, it will continue to increase that hydration. Second is going to be medications to help with that vomiting. There's a lot of medications that are out there. Ondansetron or Zofran is one of the most popular that we use out there within the healthcare spectrum. And then medications that can help with the discomfort. There's some antispasmodics and medicines that can help with the discomfort associated with the abdominal cramping and bowel cramping that goes with it. Now, if it gets pretty severe, going into the hospital, getting checked out, getting those IV fluids may be necessary, sometimes even admission to the hospital. But for the most part, most people will get through it just miserably, but symptomatic management and some TLC.
Just guessing, I'm saying that's pretty severe right there, that guy.
He is not feeling great.
No.
That is colicky abdominal pain at its best right there.
Did you say colicky?
Colicky, that's the description for the pain that you have with bowel. It's the cramping bowel related pain. And so with children and babies, you hear colic, but colicky pain is that crampy abdominal pain.
I always wondered what that meant.
Yep, there you go.
Thank you, sir.
We just added right there.
More vocab word. Thank you.
Yes.
All right.
More medicine next week.
Always important information and improving your vocabulary for the next cocktail party you go to.
Absolutely.
Dr. Ryan Stanton.